Hello trade pros and welcome to a new video at TRADEPRO Academy. I'm Victorio and today we're going to be talking about circuit breakers. But before we get into circuit breakers, I want you guys to smash that like button. I want you guys to hit that subscribe button and ring that little bell to notify you when we do go live and drop videos like these every weekend. So before we jump into this, let's go through our intro and we'll see you guys on the other side. Circuit breakers are an emergency measure that we have implemented in markets to actually stop and halt trading temporarily. We saw the first circuit breakers developed after the 1987 Black Monday crash, which saw panic selling hit a halt. The Dow Jones that day had dropped over 22%. So in essence, circuit breakers are meant to be used to stop panic selling. So we saw this in action in 2020 when we saw that big market dump throughout COVID. So March 2020, we saw multiple circuit breakers hit to the downside. We saw 7% drops in a single day. We saw 5% drops in a single day. And circuit breakers can be applied to not only indices, but individual stocks, just like GME, to either the upside or downside. Circuit breakers are generally applied to the downside for indices like the S&P 500, NASDAQ, Russell, but when it comes to stocks, they halt both to the upside and the downside. So generally, in market indices, there's a lot more money, there's bigger players. That's why they want to pause the panic selling. But when you talk about individual stocks, sometimes the volatility gets too many people excited and bigger positions, bigger funds might get liquidated even to the upside. So there is circuit breakers to both ends. When it comes to indices, we have two main levels that start the intraday halts. So down 7% and down 13%, we have those just temporary halts while we have a full-on stop of trading at 20%. So for example, the S&P 500 on an intraday basis from the prior day's close, a 7% move to the downside, which is level 1, would halt for 15 minutes if that move happens before 3:25 p.m. Overnight, we've seen 5% halts, so the overnight session being from 6 p.m. to 9:30 a.m. Eastern. The 13% halt is what we call level 2, and that halts for another 15 minutes, again before 3:25 p.m. And then the final halt, level 3, which I personally have not seen yet, is a 20% downside move, which just closes trading for the rest of the day. So something that we saw on Black Monday, for example, in 1987. So circuit breakers can also be attributed to stocks. They're a little more complex than the indices themselves because they have acceptable ranges either to the downside or the upside. For example, level 1, the acceptable range for a stock to move either up or down between 9:45 and 3:35 p.m. Eastern time is 5% for stocks on the S&P 500, Russell 1000 that are over $3. There's also level 2 when it comes to stocks, and they have an acceptable up or down range as well. For other securities that are not on the S&P 500 and Russell 1000 from that same time period, and that's 10% for stocks that are over $3. And then finally, the acceptable range for stocks between 75 cents and $3 is 20%, and those are just not listed on the larger indices anyways. So there are more complex rules. There could be halting based on news. There could be halting based on anticipated volatility in stocks, just like we saw on GME in the past few weeks. But when it comes to indices, we don't see halts to the upside, even if the market manages to rip 15-20% in a single day, because that's generally good for the overall market. We want to stop panic selling, and that's why these circuit breakers were put into place. So to the downside, we see the halts, but to the upside, we let the momentum ride. So if you guys enjoyed this video about circuit breakers, let us know in the comments down below. Drop a like and we'll see you guys next time. But before that, we want to see you guys in EchoFin in our free community where we talk about futures, options, stocks, all the time throughout the day and even after hours. The link's going to be in the description below, and we're going to start doing market update videos on the weekends as well. So if you guys are excited for that, let us know in the comments, and we'll see you guys next time.